Welcome to the OC, bitch. And I thought that was the corniest shit I had ever heard in my life when I first watched the show. And on the rewatch, I still think it's the corniest shit I've ever heard in my life. Welcome to Black Guy White Shows, breaking down white TV shows, one black hot take at a time. And I'm actually excited. I am actually excited because the kickoff episode of Black Guy White Shows, we're talking about one of my favorite TV shows of all time, which brings my blackness into question. Somebody is going to try to revoke my black card after this episode is done. But until then, we press on. Today, we are talking about the OC. Welcome to the OC, bitch, California. Here we come. Hands down, this was one of my favorite TV shows at the time that it debuted. And this was before like streaming and stuff like that. So you had to be like sitting in front of the TV ready to catch it at the time that it came on. And damn it, you better not call me because I ain't talking. We talking about the OC. So as I said, debuts in 2003 with one of the greatest theme songs of all time by Phantom Planet. That show comes on, we all wait for the theme song to give us our opportunity to sing California. And the show itself just had like a major impact on TV. It was kind of like a nighttime teen soap kind of thing. It just revolutionized TV. Now the show had plenty of star power, and some people were unknown at the time, and some of them went off to either be huge stars or alcoholic drug addicts with like anger problems, bipolarism, stuff like that. Peter Gallagher, Adam Brody, Misha Barton, Ben McKenzie, Rachel Bilson. Can I get sentimental for one moment? Rachel Bilson. Rachel, if you're listening, boo, you were my boo. Okay, you ain't know it, but damn it, you was my boo because you were so fine. Probably still are. Now the show is about this guy named Ryan. Let's read what IMDb says the description of the show is. After being kicked out of his home, a poor, troubled youth is taken in by a public defender and his family, where he becomes embroiled in the lives of the wealthy, upper-class neighborhood of Newport Beach, Orange County in California. So yes, Ryan Atwood is the main character, and you have a bunch of other satellite characters that had their own character arcs, subplots, and the gambit. But the show is about Ryan and also about Marissa. So you have two separate families, right? You have the Cohens and you have the Coopers, who actually are next door neighbors, if that's, you can believe that. And the Cohens bring Ryan into their family, so he basically becomes a Cohen. But they're the two major families kicking off this thing in episode 1, the pilot. The Cohens. Sandy Cohen was Ryan's public defender. After he brings him into the home, Ryan like sneaks outside to smoke a little stove. Marissa's out there too. She wants to smoke a cigarette. She's got a Lucy that she bought from the bodega for 25 cents. And this scene is probably the most impactful in terms of the show. This is the springboard. This meeting is the springboard. It is the inciting incident for the rest of the show. Nothing happens without these two people meeting. Now, they probably shouldn't have met. Relationship toxic as hell, okay? But no show without these two. Now, in episode 1, you get introduced to a lot of things that associated with Ryan's identity are iconic, like the pool house. Rachel Bilson and Melinda Clark had started a podcast There's Welcome to the OC, bitch, I think, and then there's Beyond the OC, and they were talking about like why Ryan stayed in this pool house even though the Coens lived in a fucking mansion. And I never gave that any thought whatsoever. Like, they had plenty of rooms and guest rooms. But when I thought about it, it makes perfect sense that Ryan would stay in the guest house because he was like a criminal. He was this young kid, this young thug from the hood. And of course, Kristen did not want to invite him into the home. You stay your ass out there. But he ends up just staying there basically forever until he graduated high school. You also get the you can't say white bitches anymore, the tank tops, the tank tops that Ryan always wore. And I'm actually wearing my white tee in commemoration of Ryan Atwood, because that's the other thing that he would wear, is like a fitted kind of white tee. That was his uniform. That's the Ryan Atwood uniform that he wears every show. Sometimes he deviates, but he has a whole closet full of tank tops, white tank tops and white t-shirts, maybe leather jacket. And you know, another thing that really didn't make any sense is that Ryan is supposed to be from the hood. He's from Chino, which is supposed to be the hood. But like, when I looked that up, the median household income was like $105,000. Yeah. So hood. So ghetto. Now, other things that you get introduced to in this pilot episode is the complex relationship between Jimmy Cooper and Kirsten. Is it Kirsten? Kirsten Cohen. Now, apparently they're childhood friends or whatever, but Jimmy's messy. Even though he's married, you know that annoying guy that always wants to keep reminding you of some relationship you had, like when y'all were in middle school? Like, bro, move on. But she entertains this bullshit. I don't know why Sandy put up with it. If I was him, I would have knocked Jimmy right in the face. The show also does a good job of building Marissa Cooper up, showing you how high she is up on the Newport Beach society as a 16-year-old girl, to make her descent that much more impactful on the viewer, because she starts here, but she ends here. Here start, here end. I can't give you all the in between. You gotta watch for yourself. The show starts with Ryan committing possibly the worst crime I've ever seen executed in my entire life. Now, Ryan's older brother, who is a piece of trash, Trey. Okay, Ryan, first of all, Ryan comes from the worst family ever. You think your family is bad? His family is horrible. His brother is making him steal a car as if it is a rite of passage. And maybe it would have been cool if they would have used like a Slim Jim or something like that. Maybe even a screwdriver. No, he smashes the window of a car with a tire iron as loud as possible. So of course the cops come in like 2.5 seconds. They don't get away with nothing. But I guess without that happening, the rest of the story would not have occurred, and Ryan would still be living, you know, with an alcoholic mother and getting his ass whizzed by her boyfriend or whatever. Going back to Marissa, I got sidetracked. The show, like I said, magnificently builds up how important she is to society, Newport society, but it also gives you little cracks, little windows of insight into who she is as a person. There's a scene, I think they were like a fashion show or something like that, and Rachel Bilson's character Summer, who is supposed to be like her best friend, but I guess they shoehorned that in later because she wasn't even supposed to be a recurring character. She comes in with like 2 glasses of champagne, like, look what I stole. And Marissa's like, hold my beer. She pulls out a whole fifth of vodka. Not a fifth, a fifth. Who does that? Like, were you really planning to drink that? Because we need to talk, boo-boo. Something else that, there's so much, it's crazy that happens in this one episode, and that is a recurring theme in all the shows. It's just like a million different things that happen. Like, you get lost. They just jam-pack so much goings on and action into like one show, but you also get introduced to Ryan rescuing Marissa for the first time, but this is not the last time. That becomes like something that just happens over and over and over again, even when he is like sacrificing his own like well-being for her, and you have to question like the decisions that he makes sometimes. Like, yo, bro, what are you doing? Like, what? Leave her the fuck alone. Like, let her figure shit out on her own. You don't always have to come to her rescue. But I guess that's, you know, who he was, what his character was about. He's always felt like he had to be there for people, you know, who weren't doing good. In these shows, black guy, white shows, we'll also talk about lines, you know, the dialogue that happens, and, you know, funniest lines or wittiest lines or the most serious shit that somebody says. And we're going to talk about the two funniest lines in this particular episode. So when Ryan meets Marissa and she asks him who he is, he says, "Whoever you want me to be." And she's looking like, okay, all right. She asks him how he gets there or what he's doing there. She asks him like what he's doing there, and he's like smoking a cigarette. I don't have a cigarette. I don't smoke cigarettes, but just fake them. Stole a car. Crashed it. And I thought that was the corniest shit I had ever heard in my life when I first watched the show. And on the rewatch, I still think it's the corniest shit I've ever heard in my life. And I am so glad that they moved on with his character from saying shit like that. But then I started thinking, it actually makes perfect sense. At first, I thought it was out of character. I thought it was out of character for Ryan to say some shit like that. But it actually makes perfect sense. Think about it. Ryan's character is supposed to be from the hood. Now, I don't know how much you know about the hood, but in the hood, doing dumb shit gets you good attention, right? The more dumb shit you do, the more people respect you, and definitely the more women you're going to get, the more women you are going to get, hands down. A quick story. Years ago, I was into some dumb shit one time. And while I was into this dumb shit, one of the guys I was with got a phone call from a girl. And she's asking, well, hey, why y'all are all there doing dumb shit? Who's there? And he's naming people all, rattling them off. And then he's like, and, you know, Jason's here. And she's like, Jason who? And he tells her, it's me. Come to find out, she knew this young lady that I had been trying to get at for years. I'm talking about back in like the high school days. She finds out I'm there. She's like, yo, put him on the phone right away. I get on the phone. She's like, oh my God, I didn't know you were like that. What else do you do? I mean, she was really turned on by the fact that I'm like doing stuff I don't have no business doing. Before that, she wouldn't even give me the time of day. It's crazy. The second funniest line comes from when Ryan and Seth go to this party. Seth is getting his ass handed to him. Ryan comes to defend him. Ryan throws the hands. I give him that. You know what I mean? He ain't scared to throw the hands. But my boy Luke was there. Now Luke, we're going to come back to Luke in subsequent episodes because Luke is my man, 100 grand. And I actually kind of like him more than I like Ryan low key. But why they a scrap? After they scrap, and Ryan is laid out, Luke hits him with the famous line. Welcome to the OC, bitch. That's how
this is how it's done in Orange County.
Yeah, but I thought that was the funniest shit I had ever heard in my life, and I still do, because it's like, you're rich. What are you talking about? Welcome to the OC. Like, that's the hood or something like that. This is a dangerous place. You know what I mean? Get out of here. Ironically, that was also the line that really, upon first watching the show, not the rewatch, but upon first watching the show, got me hooked, because that was some shit I could relate to. Welcome to the OC, bitch. That's how we do it in Orange County, boy. Now, I tell you why this show works so well. Ryan is supposed to be like this hood kid coming into this rich white society, but he's white. coming into a rich white family. He's supposed, stay with me now. He's supposed to be a thug from the ghetto, but he is white and everybody else is white. And so that allowed your mind to shut off and just enjoy the show because you're not worried about like some racial undertones and things like that. You can just enjoy it for what it is. Like back in the day, oh, I love Jersey Shore. I love Jersey Shore. Situation? Yeah, hell yeah. Because I could watch this ratchet, ghetto, hot mess and not feel any kind of way about it. No guilt because they were Italian. It was like eating sugar-free cake. It was guilt-free. So the pilot, episode 1 concludes, we don't know if they're gonna keep Ryan, if the Cohens are gonna allow Ryan. Kirsten's trying to get rid of Ryan's ass. She's trying to get him up out of here, cuz. She's trying to get him up out of here, okay? But if nothing else, because we're gonna stick with the OC for 1 second, and we're gonna go off into other shows. But if you don't do anything else, you need to watch this show. Now, if you're already a fan, come on in, close the door, kick your shoes off, okay? I got some drinks by the fridge, ice, okay, whatever you need, because we're here, okay? We're in the same tribe. We're in the same tribe, the Orange County Indians. All right, man, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of things to discuss when it comes to the OC. We're not finished. We just getting started, and I need your opinions on this stuff too. That's how a conversation is both ways. That's why it's called dialogue. Is I say something, you say something. I need y'all down in the comments telling me, was this one of your favorite shows? What was one of your favorite parts? Who's your favorite character? Like, what is an opinion that you have that nobody else has? Something that you notice nobody else noticed about this show? And get ready because we about to dive into all of it. I see y'all on the next go round. Peace. California, here we come. Right back where we started from. California. Here we come, California, California. Sounds better than R. Kelly.